Hey listeners, before we begin today's episode, we want to provide a content warning. The following discussion may include sensitive or potentially distressing topics that could be triggering for some individuals. We believe in approaching these subjects with empathy and respect, but we understand that they might not be suitable for everyone. In this episode, we're discussing the singer Dalida, which will include discussions about suicide and eating disorders. We encourage you to listen at your own discretion, especially if you or someone you know could be affected. Please consider skipping this episode if you feel that's necessary. Your well-being is important to us, and we want to ensure that you make the best decision for yourself.
Thanks for listening, and on to the episode.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey! Hi, Kim.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. We're back here again. We're finally caught up. This is Why I'm Gay with Kim and Kelly, back at it again with new labeling, new marketing.
Pieces of paper on the front of our computers.
Listen, we're doing amazing, okay?
Yeah.
We're fucking slaying our pussies out, okay? This is Why I'm Gay.
This is Why I'm Gay.
We are on episode 5 of season 2. We are fucking killing it. I've been really enjoying where we've been going these last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And this episode's going to be kind of fucking crazy. This has been a culminating situation for you for a while, I think.
It's been a year, I
Has
think.
it really?
I think just about.
Oh my God. Really? That's a long goddamn time.
Yeah.
And you still love her just the same.
Absolutely.
No question about it.
It's only renewed my fervor in these past few weeks, so.
See, you have such a good vocabulary, Carolee.
I don't know what it is about people talking about my vocabulary, but I used at least 2 words this week where people were just like, I don't know what that means. Dirge.
What does that mean?
Like a funeral dirge.
Oh,
it's
okay.
a lament.
Yes, I have heard of that.
And then I used the word panopticon in a meeting.
And everyone was fucking shocked.
Well, it was a work meeting, and I didn't want to use the word police state because I feel like
We're still in the...
Yeah, I was like, this is a
Still below the
professional
Mason-Dixon
setting,
line.
and like, I don't need to espouse my like leftist ideologies to
Right.
all of these people who don't know me. But yeah, I used the word panopticon, and people were like, I just had to look that up. I don't know what it means. I was like, okay.
I've never heard it. So it's just police state or...
No, panopticon is a structure that was made in like I think it was like the 18th century.
Okay.
That's like a tower that is at the center of other buildings, and it was talked about by a philosopher to describe a constant state of observation that makes you change your behavior. So you are constantly being watched, so you're not going to commit crime, even if you're not being watched, because you think you're being watched. That's the panopticon.
Wow. Yeah, I guess people are just really fucking dumb now, so we don't use more expressive terminology and more descriptive words. I don't
Everybody's different, you know?
know. Yeah, I don't know. We're pretty dumb.
I just like my little, I was going to say, not SAT words. What's the other one? GRE.
See, again, GR what? GR we? Okay. All right, we're going to get into some housekeeping first and foremost, because I got to update you on some shit, okay? Shit's been going down. I have fully blossomed into my feminine mystique in the last 2 months.
Yes.
The things I say just make me laugh. I'm the funniest person I know, which is...
So I'm the funniest person who's ever lived.
I'm
And
the
will ever
funniest person ever lived. Okay, so first things first. I did get a haircut. I'm going to show it off for everyone. I am a new woman now that I got this haircut. Look how gorgeous and sexy and like mysterious I look. Like
bangs.
like layers and bangs, and they've actually grown out a little bit, but I really like them and it makes me feel sexy. And honestly, it's just like allowed my looks to, like, I just feel like my hair was holding me back.
Yeah.
And now it's pushing me forward into the future.
And now you feel absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely fucking gorgeous. Stunning. So yeah, my haircut has been really slaying. I have been really into my nails recently also. Just like painting them, growing them, looking feminine, you know. Like slay, 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 slay all day.
You went from I'm calling the police on the barbecue sunglasses to holographic nails.
Oh no, for sure. Like I can't even wear those sunglasses anymore, actually. I feel weird in them.
Oh.
Well, I only wear them at the beach because they're more utilitarian and I don't want to bring my cute sunglasses to the beach. So that's the I don't care what happens to them anymore sunglasses.
From gender euphoria to dysphoria to euphoria, one queer woman's experience of life and love.
That's my memoir. That's a pansexual on the move.
Yeah.
Speaking of pansexuality, I had a run-in with my first older man that I would have sex with in the wild.
Wow.
He was a Jehovah's Witness.
So this is really going somewhere, is what you're telling me.
He was 45. His name, maybe I shouldn't dox him on this,
yeah.
but he was really sexy and he had a mustache and he looked kind of like Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
Which really helped me a lot. And after a couple of free drinks from his sister, because he was helping, it was like, I was loosey-goosey. No, it was him and his two younger siblings helping him like forget about that he was getting divorced from a woman that he's been with for 20 years. And we met them at a bar a couple weeks ago with a friend. I was just with a friend. We met these people. He was really hot. We were talking. Why are you looking at me like that for?
Because this doesn't sound real.
It's real. And he told me that they used to be Jehovah's Witnesses, but he's the only Jehovah's Witness left, and the other two younger ones that are gay are no longer Jehovah's Witnesses.
We're out of here.
We're out of here. And he was just like, the drunken guy that was like, my bitch wife. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, gross.
But then his siblings were like, no, actually, she is kind of a bitch. And I was like,
That's
but
fine.
still, really sure, whatever. But it was just funny to watch. Like, we were, you know, those talks you have with strangers that are like so aggressive and you can't stop talking because it's just so visceral.
Yeah.
Well, that happened, and then he was like, I've never been with anyone but my wife. And I was like, well, you should kiss someone. Like make it happen. So we kissed.
Wow.
But it was like, he tried to give me tongue, and I was like, whoa, buddy, whoa, 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 whoa. But then I was like, damn, I should have let him give me tongue. Anyways, that was a little update for me. I also went to the rodeo a couple weeks ago. Just a couple updates from my life. But he was really hot, and I've thought about him a couple times since then.
Nice.
I don't think I would want to have sex with him, though. See, this is the thing. I keep saying I want to do this, but I really don't. I really don't think I would actually.
It's the fantasy, not the physical act.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's fine with me. I'm happy with that. It's easier. There's no...
Said I talk a big game.
I talk a big fucking game. And there's no possibility of pregnancy with a fantasy.
There you go.
So...
Oh, God, I don't think about that.
Neither do I. So I was like, oh my God, I would have to think about that. And that, I think, turned me fully off. I was like, no, never.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit about me and my life. And last thing I want to mention, I decided what my Halloween costume is going to be.
What is it?
I'm going to do Little Edie, but specifically when she has the American flag at the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to be so fucking annoying all night. Just, hey!
No, literally.
Happy Halloween!
I'm going to do it. It's going to be perfect.
Do you know the choreography?
I'm going to learn it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to learn it. She goes...
Wait. Is Angel going to be the camera guy?
She should be. Oh, my God.
Just like... And like, they're in the documentary, so like you get a good idea of who they are and what they look like.
And she would love that because she's not the center of attention. She's filming me, which I would love.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I want anyway, so... But that's a little bit about me. Sorry, I just had to tell you those few things that were going on in my life, but... That's me. Any updates from you?
I did an edible at a water park for the first time.
Tell me a little bit about that, please.
It was so jarring.
You did too much, I think, for your first time.
I definitely did too much. Yeah. First time I've ever done an edible, been high. I mean, I've like tried like THC water before, but it just made me tired, and that was it. I had like a sour strawberry like strip. It was
like a strip or like a roll, like a tube.
It was like, it looked like fruit leather. It was like maybe that big, but it was like, it had like sour sugar on it. I think the whole thing was 600 milligrams, like the whole piece, but I mean, I'm not going to do that.
Even one bite would have probably been too much for you.
One square, I think, was 100, and I had like 3 or 4 bites.
3 or 4 bites of the one square?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was probably like 50 or 60.
Yeah, I mean, it's just starting off when you've never smoked or eaten an edible, it's just everything's going to be intense. So I understand that you were...
Yeah. In the first few moments when I realized, like, I was like, oh, something's wrong.
Something's wrong is your first thought.
I went into the bathroom where my partner Parker was peeing, and he was standing at a urinal, and I walked up behind him, and I was like, and then I stood next to him, and I started peeing in the urinal next to him, and I just started laughing.
Yeah.
And I was laughing so hard I couldn't see, and I could feel the tears running down my face. And
you couldn't see?
No, I felt like I was blacking out. I was laughing so hard it felt like every muscle in my body was contracting, and I was just like, but it felt good.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear it.
And he was like, something must have really got you. And I was like, but I feel like after that moment, for the rest of the day, whenever my bare feet were touching the concrete, it felt sharp and loud. Like I was like,
whoa. That sounds like acid.
And then
this is crazy.
I feel like after anybody said anything, I would just be like,
that's great.
Yeah, it was fun. I was high until the next day.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, edibles, even with people that are experienced smokers, it usually gives you a weed hangover.
Yeah, I was.
Which is what that was.
Shocked.
Yeah. Did you wake up like?
No, I.
Crusted
I woke
eyes.
up and I was like, I remember touching my face and it feeling odd, and then going like this, and my hands just felt like numb or like
Whoa.
delayed in response.
Uh-huh.
But I felt pretty good for the rest of the day. But I was definitely like
dude, that's amazing. Okay, well that means we have to eat an edible together
at some point when I have the day off the next day, because that was not great.
I mean, if you eat it in the morning and you don't eat too much, you'll be fine by the next day. I think you just overdid it.
I
and
did.
That's fine. At least you were in an enclosed space, which is a nice thing to have.
I had responsible adults with me, and it was...
Oh, shut the fuck up. Reminding me that I wanted to go to the trampoline park today.
Jumpology, baby. I gotta go to Jumpology.
I was... The way that's exactly what it was. No, I actually just didn't mean... Okay, sorry. I was planning things I wanted to do this summer, and I put things in the schedule to like
you said, man,
make
I really
myself
need to
do
fucking break my ankle at a trampoline park today. God.
No, literally just shut up. Trampoline park in all caps. Oh, it's funny.
Anyways.
Well, I'm glad you ate the edible.
Yeah, had a good time.
You know, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. And honestly, I was very surprised when you told me. I was like, wow, this is great. I mean, it's a good start for you.
Very different for me, yeah.
Very different for you.
I think I'm also very scared by the physical act of smoking. While I think smoking cigarettes is very sexy and like...
I know.
Oof.
You wouldn't do a joint like that? A little thin joint?
I'm so scared of what it'll do to my body when the smoke is inside.
Oh
I think about it all the time.
I'm
I
here...
feel like I'm gonna like combust or something.
Look at me. I've put so much fucking tar in my lungs. Excuse me? Well, anyways, let's get on to our weekly obsessions.
Absolutely.
My weekly obsession is Jersey Shore. I hate your dead stare when I tell you something. I'm like, give me a reaction. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I've never watched it before.
Me either.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Like never one episode?
I've never seen it.
Me neither. I'd never seen an episode, and recently I was just looking for another stupid television show to watch. I've watched all the Housewives. You know, I wanted something similar to the Housewives. So I was inclined to start, and I fucking love it. It is perfect peak stupidity television. They are all so stupid, but they're all so sweet. Like, they're just...
Got a lot of heart.
They got a lot of heart. And Snooki specifically, she's just such a sweet little Sagittarius. She just, whenever she's upset, she's like, yeah. I want a boyfriend. I'm like, girl, you're so cute. Like, yes.
I think for me...
And JWoww's so fucking hot. That Pisces queen. Jesus Christ. She wears these, like, stripper outfits, and I'm like, it's just crazy. It's like, Auga!
I don't think I could ever get into those shows because I know that there's men on it.
The men are really funny, though, and sweet. It's actually really cute. I promise you. Besides the situation, ugh. He's disgusting.
I'll keep an open mind.
I would want to show you an episode. And what's really funny is when I was watching it, like in the thick of it, I'm towards the end now, but when I was watching it, I had my showcase, my acting showcase that you came to. Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
I had a great time.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think I did a pretty good job. But the day that it ended, the Sunday that it was over, my co-star my co-star, my castmate, sorry, I'm not my co-star because I'm the star. She gave me and a couple other people these little Catholic pendant charms. You know, the little Catholic charms?
Oh, because you're Italian now?
Exactly. So it was all serendipitous, okay? And she was like, this is Saint Genesius, who is the patron saint of actors. And I was like, give me that. So
He said, Roma, Italia.
Exactly. I should have worn it today. But I put it on a silver chain and I wear it a lot. And I'm always like, kiss it and Mom. And the day I started wearing it, I got a speeding ticket. So I don't know if that was like bad luck or good luck, or maybe they were protecting me from dying. Maybe.
I mean, they said skill check. You better show off your acting skills to this cop.
And I cried. It didn't work. I was in Powhatan, so it did not work. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
His cross-eyed said, "You're going to court." I was like, "All right, fuck you." But I just love my necklace, and I'm feeling very Italian. My Sicilian friend told me that I have to go through some trauma first to become a full-fledged Italian, but I'm close. Like, I'm on the way to becoming an honorary Italian. Because I feel like I would do great in an Italian family. I'm so annoyingly loud. I love food. No, I mean, but in a good, like, I love that. I love that part.
You said
of me.
Italians love that about themselves.
Exactly. They like to yell at each other. They love Italian food. You know, they go to the Jersey Shore. There's more than that, of course. I'm joking, but I just love it. But the funniest thing was when I was watching an episode late at night with my friend, and we were cackling, and it was so loud, and Snooki started like screaming at Jay. She's like, "Don't come near me! Get away from me!" Like drunk, and I look over, and Angel's just quietly asleep, just asleep through the entirety of this loud, like I turned it up just to test her, and it was like they were screaming. I put the surround sound on, she was still It was so fucking funny. But anyways, Jersey Shore, love. What about you? What's your obsession for the week, Johnny?
It's something that I watched yesterday.
Okay.
Are you familiar with John McClane?
As in like yippee-ki-yay motherfucker?
No.
Die Hard?
No.
John McClane?
Yeah.
That's the name of the character in Die Hard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. No.
John McClane is an influencer on YouTube.
Doing what? Excuse me, I have to burp. Oh. It didn't come out. Sorry. John McClane on YouTube. Okay. I don't know who this is.
Skincare, lifestyle.
Gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking gay.
But he looks like a beautiful European witch.
Oh.
And as his YouTube channel has progressed, he has leaned much more into the fact that he is a strange person and his humor is very specific. And he put out an extreme sleep, like pre-sleep routine video, and it is so funny. And I'm like, you have to be aware of this. You have to be aware that you're being silly.
Sometimes it's aren't,
incredible.
though, which is like kind of scary. But I'm excited to watch this now.
We'll have to watch it in a little bit because it's great.
Okay.
It's like a 30-minute video. We'll watch just like a few snippets of it because it's just like, so funny.
I love a good long, and I always think about with those routines, they have to set up the camera and do all of these things, especially the wake up ones where they're like,
oh, yeah.
And they've been awake for 20 minutes, like getting ready to do this and putting on makeup and shit. It's just funny to me.
John McClane is sitting in his studio talking like this and looking directly at the camera so that the ring light aligns with the shape of his iris. And he looks like, I don't know, like the first time I watched it, I was like, you're an android. Like, this is not real. This is not a real person. He also did a really great video about fragrances and parfums.
Parfum? I need to learn some more. I don't know enough about perfumes. I have a couple now, but
I don't have like a fragrance story, and I love people that do.
What does that mean? Like one you found and you're like, this is my fragrance?
I just mean in general, like people's relationships to perfume. I made fragrance story up just now. But a fragrance story.
A fragrance story. My fragrance story is
yeah, like what was your fragrance story? What was the first fragrance you owned, and then how did it progress, and what were the notes that you enjoyed?
That's actually really cute. And sorry, hold that thought, because I just got my first perfume on my birthday actually, and it's called Vacation.
I feel like you told me about this.
I might have, but it's notes of coconut, swimsuit,
and sunscreen,
saltwater, and banana.
Was this an Instagram ad that you followed through on? Because I feel like I've seen it.
It's definitely been all over Instagram, but Angel told me about it actually when we were in Ulta a few days before my birthday, because I was trying to like scope out what I wanted to buy, because I went to Short Pump and like did a little shopping spree, and I wanted a perfume, and I was like, what perfume do I want? And she showed it to me. I was like, oh, this is
Sexy.
it's perfect. It's what I want to smell like on vacation.
Yeah.
And it's a gorgeous little bottle, so I bought that bitch, and it was on sale. So that's my perfume story. I've started with vacation, and I'm looking for more.
All right.
What are your notes that you like?
I know more about candles than I do about like perfumes, fragrances.
Okay.
The things that I like in a candle that I would want in a fragrance: musk,
Oh yes.
tobacco, sandalwood.
Oh, love a sandalwood.
Yeah, like I like
Do
those.
you like bergamot?
I like those like dark masculine scents.
You're a big, burly, bearded man who loves his musk.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's interesting. I want
Also into pits now.
What? Like as in pits?
Yeah.
Like you like sniffing pits?
Yeah.
You're into that? Like specifically as a sexual act?
Yeah.
Oh, that turns you on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like
Turn-ons are so interesting. They're so random sometimes.
it's also weird how they evolve too. But I mean, just on the topic of fragrance, you know, like I think for me, like if you're attracted to somebody and like they got a little funk, you're like, oh, okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
like this.
Now I understand what you're saying, because yes, literally, Angel will come home from working in.
And you're like hot, sweaty Womana.
No, she'll come home from working in the farm,
dirt.
the warehouse, and I'm like, give me your head right now. Let me smell that fucking scalp now.
Our scalp? Let me smell that scalp. I've never heard a scalp sexualized before.
Oh, it's not sexual. I just love the smell. It doesn't really turn me on so much as I just love the smell. Like because I love it's.
We're in two different neighborhoods talking about the same thing.
It's like her pheromones. I mean, I guess it's not turning me on so much as it's like, oh, I guess it is kind of turning me on. Maybe I didn't realize it was.
Yeah.
But it's like her essence. It just smells really good. It's comfy. I think it's just like comfortable and like cozy for me.
I gotcha.
Because I love her, and like she probably doesn't want me talking about her scalp smell, but.
Sorry, Angel.
Sorry, Angel, but I love you. It's just like I love the smell. But you know what? On that note, we're gonna take a break.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna come back with the main event. Really, the most important part of this episode.
Yes, ma'am. We're back, baby.
We're back, baby. This is why I'm gay. All right, main event, the media spotlight. Not technically a media spotlight this time. We are focusing on a single gorgeous woman this time. I think first episode we're focusing on someone, right?
Yeah, so we're focusing on her within the specific context that is provided by the media that we have selected, which is the 2017 biographical film about the life of the French-Italian singer Dalida.
Dalida.
Should we have an improved and sanctioned way that we are saying her name? Because, like, Americans were like, Dalida.
It's Dalida.
Dalida.
Like, with that emphasis.
Dalida.
Dalida.
Dalida. Okay.
But, of course, we like to say it Dalida.
Dalida.
Dalida. Dalida da da. Rest in peace, first of all, our fucking queen.
Yeah. Do we wanna talk about the origins of how I discovered her, how I introduced her to you?
I think that's the most important place to start, because that's the beginning for us.
Yeah.
You know, before her beginning.
Yeah. So we talked about this in another episode.
We did. She was your weekly obsession a few episodes back.
Yeah. So we're going to give a little recap.
Mm-hmm.
She was presented to me by somebody on Instagram who I follow, and I was like, oh, this is a good song.
What was the first song?
I think for me it was Mourir sur scène.
Oh, yeah. Her disco stuff, man.
Yeah. So it started for me with the disco stuff, and I like a lot of older music from like the 50s through the 70s. I don't know. I'm interested and invested in it. I also love that people around that time have a tendency to just all sing the same songs.
Yes, a lot of standards were recycled everywhere.
American standards, is that what it's called? Or just like standards?
I think there were Italian I mean, most of that stuff back then, it was like jazz standards and all of that. Yeah, I guess mostly from America, I suppose.
I guess I personally listen to a lot of American standards.
Yeah.
And that bleeds over into other countries and stuff, because she definitely covers American standards in French.
Right.
But I started at her disco and then kind of moved around a little bit. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm just adjusting my mic. Jesus. Let me do what just let me do what I need to do.
Is that you
That was me doing
cosplaying Italian?
Excuse me, just let me do what I need to do, okay? That wasn't it. Not quite. See, I'm not quite there. I'm not quite Italian. Keep going.
So,
speaking of Italian.
Where do I want to go with this?
Well, you were talking about your first origin, and then how did it blossom? Like what videos did you find? Because I know you started finding really good videos.
I found videos of her performances, which were amazing. But what really got me was this massive compilation of her music on Spotify. 40 Years in Gold.
Yes.
It's
great cover.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It's got all of her music. And I've listened to other like compilation albums, and
this one kind of...
Yeah, it encompasses all of it. It's really fantastic. We could provide the link to that specific album if you want to listen to it.
It'll be right here for you to see the visual, of course.
It's so great. It's beautiful. Gorgeous.
And her hair, she's just so striking that I feel like you immediately wanted to know more. The honey blonde brows and hair and...
Yeah, so
gorgeous.
Yeah, she's a stunning woman, and she's stunning in the way that gay people like. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, of course. And she gives a lot of expression with her eyes, which I find a lot of people don't do enough, and she really gives it to us.
Yeah.
Like she gives it.
She gives a very dramatic performance. Like you can tell that she puts her everything into being a performer, and I don't know, I appreciate it. I think it can be seen as melodramatic by some, but I'm just kind of like, have fun, loosen up, God.
Like put your hands through your hair, you know, run those fingers up there.
Feel like a woman.
Right.
A woman, a French-Italian woman.
A woman. An Egyptian woman.
Yeah. A French-Italian woman who was born in Cairo, Egypt in 1933?
If that isn't the origin story of a countess, I don't know what is.
Majoring in contology, the master thesis on slayage.
That's like wombology, but for gays.
Yeah. So she sang in 9 languages, potentially more.
9?
Yeah, so I've seen some people say 9, some people say 10, some people say more than 10.
Oh, wow.
I've heard her sing in French, German, Italian, Arabic, Japanese.
Japanese?
Yeah. One of my friends who's like pretty fluent in Japanese, I was like, listen to this and tell me if it makes sense. Because, you know,
sometimes
when people sing in another language and they don't understand the context of speaking in that language, it's always a little odd.
Yes.
And especially in Japanese, like, I know that there are a lot of K-pop groups that make songs in Japanese, and they're like, yeah, the emphasis on these words is just wrong. Like, the pronunciation is fine, but you're just kind of like, So I think that was kind of the case here, but I don't know. Props too.
Right.
Props to her.
Her Arabic music is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
The one of the more popular ones, Salama Ya Salama. That was used for like a peace conference with Israel, I think.
Of course.
Yeah. Like it was
after
like the
she
theme.
was dead?
No.
Oh, okay.
She made it for that.
Oh, wow. This bitch has done it. Like, and that's the thing, you know, when I love learning more about someone and they have such a rich life of so many interesting things, because you're like, that makes sense. Like, I can see it in their performances that they have all of these experiences backing them up, you know?
Yeah, and also she's somebody that I don't think is in the zeitgeist of American culture. Like, she is so incredibly European.
Yes.
Like,
she never really... I think I read that none of her stuff ever made a chart in the U.S. at all.
She did one performance in 1978 in New York City.
Okay.
And there's a recording of it, and it's cool.
Okay.
I think the full one is on YouTube.
Okay.
We should watch it sometime.
Right after this, probably. Yeah.
But let me give some more biographical information, because this is a different episode. I want to give a broader description of who she is, what her life was like, so that people who are coming into this who have no idea who this woman is. But I mean, if you're friends with me, you've heard me
You,
ramble at length.
if you were friends with him on Instagram, if you've seen him in the last 2 years, like
I'm posting pictures of this woman with her pugs. I'm like,
I know
oh my god, beautiful.
and everyone's like, is this your aunt?
Like, I don't know who this woman is. But so she was born Yolanda Gigliotti.
Yolanda, not Yolanda.
Iolanda. Yolanda.
Yolanda. Love that.
So she didn't gain the name Dalida as like a stage name until she was a little bit older. But she was born in 1933. One of the major things in her life was she had a really serious eye infection as a child.
Mhm.
We saw it a little bit in the movie.
Yes.
But she had to have like multiple eye surgeries, and like they had to essentially bandage her eyes so that she wasn't using them as a kid, like as an infant.
That's crazy.
The only thing that was comforting her was her dad was playing her violin, and I was like, that's beautiful.
Music from a young age.
So she got like bullied a lot as a kid because she was wearing glasses, and she thought they like made her ugly. And
these poor women.
I know, glasses.
Evil children.
Glasses.
To think someone as gorgeous as Kelly would be called ugly because of the glasses you're wearing.
There's plenty of other things you could call me ugly for.
Right, of course. No.
He said fat, nasty, spits when he talks.
Hair everywhere.
Just hair everywhere. So anyway, she blossomed as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
She became stunning.
Blossomed
beautiful.
everywhere.
Okay, perf. So she started going by...
Sorry. So stupid. Okay, what were you saying? Blossomed?
Yeah. She started going by Dalila.
You know, I actually read why. Because you know, you can say
Tell me. No, you tell me.
Well, they were saying that she looked like the actress that played Samson and Delilah's Delilah.
Hedy Lamarr.
Hedy Lamarr, right.
Yeah.
And
she doesn't. She's way prettier than her. Sorry. I mean, no respect to Hedy Lamarr. She is beautiful, but...
maybe like the same majestic quality, perhaps?
I was just like, dark-haired woman?
Yeah, because when she was young, she had very dark brown hair, almost black, and very dark brown eyebrows, and she has such a low brow.
Yeah,
and she can do the like one eye. So she has
sexy chanteuse,
such a bedroom eye, like so gorgeously, like insanely perfect bedroom eyes.
Yeah. So she is discovered by Lucien Maurice. He helps get her first big hit, which is
Bambino.
So she starts working with him. He puts her on the radio. She has a bunch of other hits, such as Gondolier, Come Prima, Le Guitar, Ciao Ciao Bambina, L'Infant Stupide.
The one that you showed me specifically that I think I liked the most out of all of them, I need to actually tell you.
Like early work?
Yeah, early work. Hold on. I need to find it
So those were like... She had her first big hit in 56, and then it was like 56 to 60-ish were those songs that I just listed. They sound like old people music, but it's great. It's so...
I hate when people say... I don't even think that's true. I just feel like people don't like classic orchestral music anymore. I feel like it's just... I don't think it's old. It's a shame because it's so beautiful. I mean...
Yeah.
Oh Sole Mio.
Oh Sole Mio.
Oh Sole Mio. That one was... She went like... like a lot of really crazy runs in that one.
Yeah.
She fucking slayed it, dude.
Oh Sole Mio is great. So she married Lucien Maurice, her first and only husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were married for a year.
And she cheated on him after a month?
It was not long after, where she had
an affair.
A paramour.
A paramour?
Yeah, a paramour, an illicit lover.
Another word I've never heard, Kelly. I was like, paramour with Hayley Williams?
Yeah, it's spelled differently, but I think that's a play on words that Paramore the band created.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Because it's spelled Paramour.
Amour. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Is that a French thing, I wonder?
I have no doubt, I'm sure.
Why is that such a French thing to have, like, many lovers? And
I don't know.
It's like, why is that such a cliche? Maybe because they all do it?
Yeah, I mean...
She wanted love so much.
Yeah, she was very romantically troubled, I would say. Like,
What was her sign?
She was born in January.
Oh, she was a Capricorn. That's right.
I don't know what that means.
That doesn't mean anything.
What does it mean in the context of Dalida?
Well, I would have to know her moon sign, which is her emotional like center. So that could be something maybe water related. Maybe it's a Cancerian moon. That would make sense to me. Mm-hmm. A Pisces moon. Listen, I'm not an expert in astrology, but I do like to.
You know more than me.
I find it interesting when things pan out the way that they it makes sense in my head.
Right.
And but maybe that's just me trying to make it all make sense. I don't know. But she was a hopeless romantic. Like, she wanted to be loved so badly.
Yeah.
You could tell through her music and through the depiction in the movie.
Yeah. So within the context of the movie,
you were talking about when she first got married, and that's where you were last time. But
within the context of the movie, when she first gets married, like, there are a bunch of things that are saying, like, this is not what I want.
Yes.
And
that scene of in the mirror when, like, that was very we're going to talk about the movie and her. I feel like we don't need to, like, separate the two, just kind of mesh it together. But they show this really artistic depiction of her in the mirror, and Lucien is behind her, and he asks her to marry him, and he was, like, putting off getting married to her because he wanted to focus on her career, but she just wanted to have a kid and, like, be a wife, and didn't really want to be, like, this, you know, this thing, you know. I feel like it started, and then she was like, oh, actually, I don't want to.
I think she did. I think she wanted fame. I think she just wanted both of them.
She wanted it all. Yeah. And it's hard to have all.
Yeah.
And so when he asked her to marry him, in the mirror, it's like angel and devil almost, but it was mostly like both devil. It was like her face looking at her, talking to her.
Angles of her kind of like speaking her true intention.
In like a tri-mirror.
Yeah, so there was like a mirror directly behind her. There was one here and one here, and she was sitting facing away from it.
Right. And it was something like, you don't actually love him. This is just like comfort or something. It was, I don't remember really what it said, but it was like, you don't really want to marry him, and you're not in love with him anymore.
Yeah, you already don't love him. You see him as a good friend. That's what it was.
Yep. And then she said yes anyway because she just wanted it so bad. Yeah. You know? So rough. Sad. And she did a lot of like content. It was interesting to see how musicians got started back then, because I didn't really think about it being all like today, you know, you're launched as an artist, you know, but back then you had to do the rough road of doing contests, making appearances, you know, you had to be seen and get your record on the radio.
Yeah, she started as she started in beauty pageants and then moved into acting, and then music like went alongside that for a long time.
Right. Which they didn't really depict the acting side in the movie.
Not much.
And no. I read up on that, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because she does look like she could have been a wonderful screen actress. Yeah. Like she visually looks like a screen actress.
She has a couple of movies that I do want to see.
The Sixth Day, we'll get to it. I really want to see that.
And there's also one from the 70s that like the poster is stunning.
Oh my God.
Gorgeous. Something else that I wanted to talk about is like her in the context of gay people.
Mm-hmm.
And like why she is considered a gay icon for many.
Such a complicated question, because there's so many reasons someone becomes a gay icon, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about the connections between all of the gay icons out there.
Yeah, I mean,
tragedy is a lot of times a big part of it.
Piece.
It is.
I think her life it had a lot of tragedy embedded in it. Mm-hmm. And it was, I don't know why gay people are so attached to that.
I think maybe because they deal with it, like they're the othered, and they're the people that perhaps deal with tragedy of their own, you know, like maybe even emotional tragedy, maybe not so much physical tragedy, but we connect to people that are dealing with stuff because we've dealt with stuff, or people we've known. And maybe it's just like, it's a commiseration perhaps.
I can see that. And like, I don't know. I think gay people are at base very empathetic people.
Yes.
Like, I think that we're willing to listen and understand other people, and
because that's what we want for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think it's really difficult to talk about Dalida without talking about Judy Garland.
As we were just saying that, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Kind of the exact American parallel, I feel like, of
Yeah.
Dalida. So much similarity there.
I think there is a stark difference in their musical style.
Of course.
Because, like, at base, Judy Garland is a more technically skilled singer. Like, her range is
Of course.
way different. Their musical choices were different. Judy got very into jazz. But I think life trajectory, I think unfortunate things happening. And there was also, like, a level of advocacy for gay people,
Mm-hmm.
gay men. So Dalida publicly acknowledged gay love. I think it was like an interview where she was just like, yeah, gay people are accepted in Egypt, and it's like it should be that case everywhere. I don't know. I'm not sure that's the case anymore,
Wow.
but like she acknowledged it at a time when it wasn't like cool or good to do that as a public figure.
Right. Even before the AIDS crisis.
Yeah.
Before that, in the 70s. That's crazy.
She also, her brother was gay, and he was somebody who she worked very close with. He was her manager. They created their label together in the 70s, and he managed her throughout her life, and after her life, he still maintained her like image and all of that stuff. So she was probably around a lot of gay people.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that she saw the productions that gay people put on in everyday life, in performances, and said, like, I need to incorporate that because these are people that I care about and this is what they love.
Mm-hmm.
So hats off to
Yeah,
hats off to you, girly.
It's crazy. And I mean, they both had a similar end.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that more later, but it's hard to see someone that provides so much joy have so much sadness in their person. Like, it's just really hard to see that. And that's such a common thing, and it's so upsetting to know that so many people deal with that, and they still, it's not that they have to put on a facade, but they do, and you can tell that they're like when they're hurting that much, you can tell.
Yeah.
Like those videos, like Je suis malade, like when she was getting into her. I mean, we'll get into that in the next. I'm gonna take us to a break in just a second, but it's a really beautiful. It's just a beautifully tragic story that's kind of happened so many times before.
Yeah,
you know, and we love our queens for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that tragedy isn't part of their story anymore. You know, these days.
Yeah.
And on that note, we're gonna take a break. And we're back.
Hi.
With This Is Why I'm Gay with Kim and Kelly. I'm Kim.
I'm Jean-Paul Gaultier.
All right, so we need to talk a little bit more about Judy Garland, I think.
Yeah, just for a second, because so we haven't gotten into the full, like, the meat of the movie, but I do want to say that I was very happy that they decided to use Dalida's music with her singing.
Essential to a good biopic with a singer. I'm sorry, do not sing. I need to hear the singer's voice.
It's kind of the piece of the magic, and
that's why I was really upset with the new Judy Garland movie.
Really? Because I wanted your opinion on it because I was curious.
Well, it was not her. It wasn't Judy Garland's voice. So that, I mean, she has such a unique voice. Even someone singing close to her voice, it's not her. So it just threw me out of it every time. I felt her act. Who was it again? What's her name?
Renee Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger as an actress, incredible.
She embodied that role. She looked fantastic.
It kind of scared me.
Yeah.
But then when she sang, ruined it for me. It ruined it because you know Judy Garland's voice. Yeah. You can't hear anyone.
Who doesn't?
Exactly. No one doesn't know her voice. So when you're, I think it's disrespectful, personally, just because you have all of that archive. It's so easy to dub. She can sing recording it, but then dub over with the voice. I just think maybe her voice was too different from Renee Zellweger, so it would have felt a little too jarring, perhaps, to do her own voice. I still think it was wrong for them to do that. I don't know
that I have a hard and fast line about it, because I feel like people would think it's disrespectful the other way. It's like, you think you embody this person so much so that you're going to use their voice? Like, I think you can
That's a
make
good
that
point.
argument on both sides.
That's a good point. No, that's a fair point, and I think just as someone who loves to sing and I would consider myself a singer and someone who appreciates the art of singing and the importance of someone's vocal prowess and a famous singer's voice. I just think if you're making a movie to celebrate them or to show people who they are, especially with Dalida, someone that maybe is less known, I think it was a really smart choice to use her voice.
Yeah, I mean, the best part of the viewing experience of that movie is I knew every song.
Every time a song came on, you're like, it was so cute. I mean, I knew some of the songs through you, of course, but like some of them I didn't, and you were just like, "Oh,
I was bopping.
It was so cute.
Yeah, I had a good time watching that movie,
and it was really good.
Yeah, so let's talk about how like the perception going into this movie. You and I were like, This is not gonna be great. Like, I've seen a lot of reviews where people are just like, this is a stinker of a movie that harps on the pain of her life without celebrating the joys and and that definitely colored my perception when we walked into it.
Mm-hmm. You were ready to not like it, I remember. You were like, let's do this. Yeah,
I was ready to kind of rip the Band-Aid off. Mm-hmm. But I'm really glad we watched it. I'm glad we gave it a chance.
It didn't feel long, and it was 2 hours, and it didn't feel long to me, which I was really happy about, because sometimes biopics do kind of drag on.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way this time.
I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
So this movie was released in 2017.
That's really recent, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
When did she pass away?
1987. There have been other biopics, documentaries. There's been a lot of stuff, but okay. I mean, it's all European.
Wow, 30 years later.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it was directed by Lisa Azuelos. Guess who she was married to?
Oh, God. I love this.
Yeah.
Who?
Luc Besson.
I know the name. Who is that?
He directed The Fifth Element. Yeah. Yeah.
That whore!
I know.
Man whore!
He got around.
Talk about a fucking affair.
Luc Besson.
Was that his, like, fourth wife? Like,
I am not sure. I didn't look that deep into it, but I saw his name attached to hers, and I was like, oh, Jesus.
I'm looking it up to see how many wives he's had.
So while you're doing that, the actors, we don't need to talk about them, but we do need to talk about the woman that portrayed Dalida. Her name is Sveva Alvidi.
Oh.
She is an Italian actress.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Wait, say her name again?
Sveva Alvidi.
Sveva Alvidi. Ooh.
Alvidi, probably.
Alvidi. Yeah.
No, there's one T. But she did not know French before filming this movie.
No. Well, French and Italian are they're both romantic languages, so I can understand where it was probably easier, but still, that's so insane.
She learned it in 6 months, and I specifically saw a quote where she said, I would just go home and cry because I thought this was absolutely impossible for me to do.
Wow. Kind of a good preparation for Dalida, crying.
Yeah. Damn, girl.
No, I mean, it's true, though. Okay, he's been married 4 times. That's not insane.
Okay, what's the excessive amount of marriages for you? Like, what's the number?
I think 6. 5 or 6.
Really? I think 3 is the...
3 is... I think 3 makes sense in Hollywood. Like, 3 marriages in Hollywood, that's a dime a dozen. 4, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
5, girl.
I don't know about you, but I don't want to get married more than once. Maybe that's why I'm like, I want to get a divorce already, and we're not even fucking married, leave me alone. Like, I take it way too seriously because I'm like, as if divorce doesn't exist.
It's just a piece of paper. I mean, in Virginia, divorce is a long, arduous process. You have to be separated for a full year before you can file for divorce in Virginia. Why?
I don't know.
That's such an antiquated thought. Like,
it is.
Do you really want to get divorced? Like,
what are you, my fucking mom?
Like, I want to get divorced.
Yeah.
Let me get divorced.
I'm an adult. You let me get married, let me get divorced.
Wait, how do you pronounce her name? The woman that played the diva? Maiwen Lebesco?
Maiwen Lebesco? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then Mila Djokovic. Wow, they
Jovovich?
were...
Jovovich?
Milia Jokovic? That's what I said last time.
Yolkovich. Jokovic.
They were married for 2 years, and he's still married to his wife from 2004. That's great. Okay, 19 years.
Okay.
Her name's Virginia Sila.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
Great.
Okay.
Anyways, back
Let's
to
move on.
our recently.
Yeah. Who gives a shit about men?
Fuck the man that's been married 4 times.
Yeah.
2 years to poor Mylon.
Put that on my tombstone. My dad's been married 4 times.
Is he really?
Yeah, and
Well,
fuck him. So
that
if you're
tracks.
watching this, Dad.
I never met you or seen a picture of your face, but fuck you,
Yeah.
Mr. Quarta.
There you go. Anyways.
Okay, so we're back to Miss Dalida.
So, Sveva Alvidi, she plays Dalida.
Married to Luc Besson.
No, that was the director.
Oh, sorry.
So, as a little synopsis, the movie begins with her non-fatal suicide attempt.
Yes.
So this is kind of in the middle of her story.
Okay.
And then we are given context of her life before via her ex-husband, via her ex-lover, and her brother.
Okay.
So all of the people that were closest to her, it's a look into her early life, her rise to fame, and then we pick up back in the middle of the story after that event, and we go through the rest of her difficult love life and her continued success in the entertainment industry. So that's my little plot synopsis. I think another important infographic to have is the lovers that she had in the order that she had them. So first we had Lucien Maurice, who was her first husband. We had Jean Sobieski, who was her little tryst.
Her little blonde tryst.
Yeah. Then we had Lucio. Lucio was the young man who she was.
What about Luigi?
Luigi's after her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Am I wrong?
I think you are. I thought that the young guy was after Luigi when because that was her suicide attempt. Was Luigi correct? After he. Yeah, because remember.
Yeah, because Lucio was like the upswing afterward.
Right. Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Luigi. Lucio. Richard Chanfray.
Richard.
Yeah. Richard.
Who had the ugliest haircut. It was a little rat
wig.
man.
Wig.
Oh, really?
Bitch, that was a wig.
Oh my god. They did not have hair implants back then, I guess.
I mean, I'm just talking about the movie, Wig.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
bad wig.
I think that the movie did some things really nice. And I think they did Dalida's hair beautifully and impeccably. There were some wigs in this
they
movie.
used all the budget on her hair. No budget was left for everybody else.
Let's talk a bit about Sveva's performance as Dalida.
Yes,
what did you think?
Well, at first, for me, biopics are tough because especially if I know what they look like very, very well, it's hard to watch it because I'm like, that's not them. That's not them. That's not them. And that always kind of happens to me at the beginning of the movie, but, their performance usually changes that for me. Like, what's love got to do with it?
Oh, my God.
I felt like at the beginning, I was like, let's see Angela, but she really...
They used Tina Turner's voice for that.
Yes, they did.
Okay,
what did I say?
Another great biopic where that is an example. So
you can't recreate Tina Turner's voice.
Absolutely not.
That's how I felt about Judy Garland, but I guess you fucking can. Whatever.
Whatever.
But I think the more we watch the movie with Dalida, I think she really embodied Dalida to the point where I didn't feel annoyed with the differences in their faces, and I felt like expression-wise, she was really she cultivated a perfect resemblance emotionally.
I think she did a really good job of portraying her.
And throughout the whole movie, we're like, that looks like her.
We were so annoying.
Like
I was
20
annoyed
times.
at us doing that because every 2 to 3 minutes, Kim and I would be like, Look. She looks exactly like her right here. Like, she has glasses on and she's like 20 feet away. Do you see? Like, that looks exactly like her.
Right. From a distance, it was like
uncanny.
Yeah. But when you got closer, I felt like her eyes, she didn't have the bedroom eyes. You can't really...
Her facial structure was just different.
You can't cosmetically do that. Like, she's not going to... she could have worn like an eyebrow wig, but no, it just wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
But I really felt like she did a great job.
She did a great job. I was specifically sold when she performed
Je suis malade.
Je suis malade.
One of the most heart-wrenching performances.
I cried.
I mean, I got emotional, and then I watched the real one.
Yeah.
I think we actually watched it right afterwards, right? Of course. You were like, I need to show you 3 videos specifically
Now.
right after we finish this movie. And she gets so emotional. She does her famous like fingers, and she always does like the fingers in the hair and like.
To be fair, I don't know that other people think it's famous, but it's what I have seen in all of her performance. There's like a lot of touching of the face, moving the hair.
It's the hands this way with her nails. And when she was doing it in the movie,
gorgeous.
I was like, wow, she did that. And in the real performance, she gets so emotional, and then she kind of holds it there, and then she snaps back into place. I'm like, whoa,
that performance,
insane.
We will link it, and we should also show that specific moment.
Avant ta peau, cet amour me tue. Si ça continue, je crèverai seul avec moi près de ma radio, comme un gosse idiot, écoutant sa propre voix qui chante là, je suis malade, complètement malade, comme ma mère sortait le soir et qu'elle me laissait seule avec mon désespoir. Je suis malade, c'est ça, je suis malade.
Amazing, right? Yeah, you saw it. It's so cool.
Can you believe what we just watched? It's insane.
Yeah. My favorite part about that performance is you hear her voice break as she's moving her hands, and then as she reaches the crescendo of the song, she throws her hair and head back and hits that note, and her voice is clear. I was like, this is acting, bitch. This is a performance.
And that showcases how she was an actress and a singer.
Absolutely.
And singers, you know, sometimes people don't make it as a screen actor and they're a singer as well, but they utilize all of those tools as a singer. And honestly, it makes their performances better. I don't think that she was acting. I just think that she was able to access her emotion in those performances and showcase it better than maybe others that didn't have an acting background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And something that I love about her, something that I think is... something that endears me to her a lot is the content of her music is often very sad.
Oh, yes.
Like, she does a lot of
Je suis malade.
Upbeat. Je suis malade is
sad.
like...
That's what it means.
It's a sad song.
Yeah.
Another one that is really sad, and I looked at the lyrics today and I started crying because it was so sad, and I kind of want to read them to you right now.
Please.
So
Dalida.
the first song that I heard by her, Mourir sur scène. Do you know what that translates to?
Mourir means death, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took 3 years of French.
The song in English translates to dying on stage.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Here we go.
Some of the lyrics. I think this is the chorus. I want to die on stage in front of projectors. Yes, I want to die on stage. Heart open, all in color. Die without the slightest pain. At the last rendezvous. I want to die on stage, singing till the end. Like,
Girl?
and that's the one that's kind of like a bop.
Oh, yeah.
That song. And like,
That's so sad.
you know, there are people who are successful in performing and even like in like heartrending stuff that's actually quite elucidating to her personal life.
Mm-hmm.
It's still just like, wow.
Do you think she wrote any of her music? I wondered that. I was because I feel like a lot of singers, especially in the beginning of her singing career, I don't think she wrote any of those songs.
No.
But do you think any of those later ones? Do you think?
The disco stuff, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We
But
should
like,
look that up.
maybe not. I mean, some people are singers and some people are songwriters and singers, and I don't think she was a songwriter. I think she just sang. She could convey her own life through these songs that I don't think that she wrote. That's my thought.
Yeah.
I don't know if she wrote them, but we don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
It's crazy.
another example of being a thespian.
Exactly. No, I mean it's so clear that she was an actress now. It makes perfect sense. I mean, Just the hair. Watching that one clip we were watching during the break, she threw her hair 4 or 5 times. She was like doing her makeup with her hand.
Yeah.
I was like, this bitch has seen a drag show or two. Like she's been to the drag bar with her brother. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know the name of that song in French, but it is likely about her lover Lucio, who was much younger than her, and she wanted to have a baby for most of her life.
Right.
And decided against having a child with him because he was too young and she didn't want to be judged by her family. So even though that this is something that she wanted, and she was at, the precipice of being able to have that, she decided against it as to not ruin somebody else's life because he had a lot ahead of him. And
I really hated that she did that. I understand the time wise, like in the 70s, 60s, 70s.
That's probably in early 70s.
But as we know, which you're probably about to tell us, it was a life-changing decision.
Yeah.
To get rid of the baby. Yeah,
she wasn't able to have children after that because of the damage to her body when she got an abortion.
It's so sad. She wanted a kid so bad.
Yeah.
She would have been the best mom.
I
think that probably would have kept her going a lot longer. Truly.
Yeah. I really liked the way that they did that scene. It was a little hard to watch. The scene where she like decides that she's going to go through with an abortion.
Yes.
She goes to a church, and then they have the like bells align with the music as it transitions. I thought that was really cool.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So poignant.
I think they did. There was a lot of careful consideration put into the editing and the cuts that were done. I know you and I specifically were just like, that was cool. We talked about that mirror scene.
Yeah.
The shot of her and Luigi laying in bed that's like illuminated. Do you remember that shot? It was pretty close at the beginning, but I was like, damn, that's kind of beautiful.
Yes.
Like, what the hell?
Oh my God. They really did their homework.
Yeah.
They really did the homework.
What scenes really resonated for you?
The cathedral bell transition is on my notes. I felt like that whole scene was so beautiful. I really loved watching her get ready for her disco era.
Oh my God.
I just felt like that was such a cool, like, showing the dancing behind the scenes, like her preparing for that, and like her getting ready for that big show at the Palladium, and like I just loved watching her do her thing throughout all this tragedy. And the mirror shot, I mean, those are probably my two favorites, I would say.
I loved her gay dancers.
When
we finally got the gay dancers, you and I were so excited.
I was so excited. I mean, I loved watching her sing Je suis malade. I feel like that was the culmination of her work as an actress to play this part.
Oh, yeah.
And so that really got me.
I want to watch it again.
I know, we should. And of course, the famous long, I don't know what part of the movie this was, but the famous long ash on her cigarette.
Oh my God,
she was in a scene and she had the cigarette in her hand. The ash was longer than the rest of the cigarette.
Inches.
It was like this much ash, and she was like, I was like, bitch, ash that shit. Oh my God.
Come on.
Tap that bitch off. Oh my God. What about you? What are your favorite scenes?
I loved the performance of Laissez-moi danser.
Oh.
Laissez-moi danser. Yeah.
And I also loved, I know you thought it was really corny, but when they did palore, and like he said the words while they were having sex. Palore, and he was doing the like.
Parole?
What?
Parole.
What does that mean?
Words.
Oh.
Parole, parole, parole.
Oh. No, but I really liked when he was like je t'aime, like in bed, but it was the song. You thought that was so corny, but I liked it.
I didn't think it was corny, but I was like, oh my God, they're gonna do it.
Bonbon à chocolat. And on that note, we're gonna take a break. And we're back.
Hey.
Oh, heck, you keep looking at me when I look at the camera, and
I
then
know,
you look
but
at me, and
I
it's so
just
cute.
I really like looking at you.
Oh, you do? Palore, palore, par, je plais beau chocolat. Je t'aime dans un monde, c'est bon.
I was wondering how far into this episode we would get before you'd be speaking in indistinguishable French. And honestly, you held out a lot longer than I thought you would. I'm impressed.
Je t'aime dans un monde, c'est bon.
To all the French bitches listening right now, I am so sorry.
Je suis désolée. Wait, no, that means I'm sad.
I mean, I'm sure that's what they're saying.
I am sorry. I don't know how to. I don't know how to say it. I thought I did. See, 3 years of French didn't work out for me.
Not much.
I definitely got a D my third year, so that should
Nice.
tell you exactly how well I did.
It was probably 2 years.
It was totally just 2 years.
Let's keep her back.
What did you take in high school?
Spanish.
Did you learn a lot? Do you remember a lot of the Spanish?
I know vocabulary words. I don't really remember grammar, but like if you showed me a sentence written down, I would probably be able to, understand it.
Okay.
But go speak it? Nah. I did Italian in college.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Paola Tesserolo. My queen. Love that woman.
Shout out
Incredible
Paola
professor.
Les Uomo.
Huh?
What?
Her
I'm
name
just
was
saying.
Paola
Paola
Tesserolo.
Tesserolo.
Tesserolo. Thank you. Yeah. We had to do that the first day. She's like, Tesserolo.
Tesserola. Listen, Dalida. That's our bitch. Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
We just got so thrown off.
We've been talking about her music. Let's talk about how hot this woman was. She had fun, zesty little outfits. Fashion icon, like skinny woman, tan.
Boobs, beautiful jaw, beautiful bedroom eyes, the low eyebrow, the gorgeous big mouth.
She was known for her breasts, surprisingly. Like she was known for being well endowed.
Which is insane. And didn't you tell me that the statue that's in Paris?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a bust of her, emphasis on the bust. And it's like at eye level, this like chest up bust of her, and the boobs are rubbed away because apparently you said you think everyone's been touching the boobs, so it's like the dark brass and then it's like light yellow on the boobs.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up though.
Or do
you think it's not fucked up?
I think in a vacuum, I think it's fucked up. I think people do it as like a form of good luck to like
touching the Buddha.
Yeah, it's like touching this. You're touching the bust, and literally the bust, and it's like a rite of passage. You go to Paris, you see this bust, you touch the boob.
See, I never wanted to go to Paris, but now I do to do that.
I want to see the statue that she has too.
Should we take a Parisian trip just to do that?
I would love to. We would be so annoying in Paris. Europeans would hate us.
They would have hated me, period. But now that I have like this context to go there, I will be even more like, do you know where the Dalida is? Do you? Excusez-moi, do you know where I can get this bonbons de Dalida?
I love that you think French people think you will they will be...
With the French accent?
Yeah, they'll understand you better if you have a French accent in your English.
Perhaps. We do not know if it will or not. Comme ci, comme ça.
Okay, we're done with this now. I've seen a bunch of like TikToks of people who are fluent in French speaking in French, and then French people in France respond in English like, okay, do you need anything yet? It's just like, okay, so you want me to learn perfect French, but if I don't speak perfect French, you're going to speak to me in English, but how am I going to practice? Because in order to get better, I need to practice.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing.
But then those people are like, it's not my job to teach you fucking French.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
And also, I mean, relating back to Dalida, French wasn't her first language, so...
What was her first language?
I
Arabic?
would assume Italian.
Oh, Italian, correct. Because she was, yeah, okay.
Her family was Italian. But there have been mentions of her unique pronunciation of French, and like in singing. So, I mean, I guess she wasn't a savant at French either, you know? I wonder if people are walking around correct her.
Good for the actress that played her, because she kind of
Yeah.
went through the same thing.
Slayed it, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
One other thing that I thought was very cool and chic about her fashion,
Mm-hmm.
she was accepting an award for something, and she was wearing a gown, and one of her straps fell.
Just fell off the shoulder.
You know, like the way
A
that
bra
gravity
strap.
functions on most people. And it was like very much a scandal, very much like oh my goodness, how could that possibly happen? So like it became like almost like a chic thing to be like,
To put the one strap off.
yeah.
I mean, that is such a slay.
It is.
So I totally love that she was a fashion icon for that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're that beautiful, and I just love that she. I was wondering what made her decide to do the honey blonde. Like, did she decide that, or did her brother and the team decide it for her? Because it just seems so perfect on her.
It's great.
And she kept it for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
she was
right?
like pretty tan.
She was very. I mean, the Italian olive skin will, yeah,
and
tan
like
very
if you
easily
look at some of the
sometimes.
later videos of her, like as she got into her like 40s and 50s, she was very tan.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And like it just looks good on her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks very stunning.
I mean, a sack'll look good on her.
Sun-kissed goddess.
Right, and the hair, she just seemed like she was gold, like her whole body was made of gold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which was so appropriate.
Yeah.
But
well, that was fun, I guess.
anything else?
This is my plea to you. Go watch some of our videos. Enjoy them. We will have plenty of them linked. I have a collection of many more that I really enjoy. Reach out and ask me about them if you want to see them. They're great. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I'll be posting a collage of 10 different videos. That was very loud.
Oh my god.
I'll probably do a post with 10 full selections.
I love it.
After this episode airs, so you'll be receiving it. And you should just go look for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me ask you this question, Kelly. Where does she rank in your favorite females? Like I know you have
my divas?
your divas. Like, and I would like to hear what your top 5 divas are.
That's hard.
Give it a minute. I'll let you sit with that while I tell you what I thought about the last portion of the movie.
Okay.
Because I felt like the last portion of the movie was her, we saw her disco era, which I wonder if she, again, I just wondered how much pull she had in her own decision making with her career. Like, did she want to go disco? In the movie, they kind of portrayed it that she didn't really think she would do well at disco. She was too old.
But her brother was like,
but her brother was like, the gays will love it. I just wonder, like, how much she decided all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just loved seeing her later in her life where she was just like just relaxing and maybe even exhausted. It was a very complicated part of her life, and it was interesting to see them portray it in a very like very simplistic.
Yeah, she went to India and this I think that was like
to an ashram.
Yeah.
It was just, she has a fascinating life. It was very interesting to see how many different iterations her life took. And she dealt with so much tragedy. Yeah. 3 of her lovers committed suicide.
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah.
And all she wanted was love. All she wanted was peace. Little bambino.
Yeah.
That's all she wanted. And it's like that tragedy we were talking about. And of course, it ended tragic. It's just, it's very sad.
Yeah, and the way that they talk about death in the movie and how she's just she was talking to a doctor and he was like, you're lucky to be alive and all this stuff, and she was just like, I don't know that I feel alive, and it's just like, oh, this is so sad. And
you were saying that people were criticizing the movie for not showing her happy points, but I feel like they did show happy points, and her life was very tragic.
Yeah, I think there was joyousness. I think
it also doesn't make for a great film. In their eyes, they're like, we need to show the intense parts, of course.
And I also think like the joyousness of performance is what people are contextualized on an artist. Like you see the performance, and like she was a little bit known for having a tumultuous personal life, for having, experiencing tragedy, experiencing, just like, like romantically, just like not aligning with somebody. So, I don't know. The movie focused more on that than it did the highs of performing.
Sure.
We got it, but I don't know. I think reality paints a different picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so have you thought about your top divas? Off the top of your head, it doesn't have to be a succinct list, but
Okay.
would you say that she ranks like at the top?
She's like, I would say she's like 3 or 4.
Okay. Okay. Who's your top? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Who?
Dusty Springfield.
Really?
Yeah.
You love your Honey Blondes.
I love Dusty Springfield.
We got to talk about her specifically. Does she have a biopic?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I know a lot about her. Also bisexual womana.
Oh, really?
Yes. Confirmed. And she had a resurgence in the 80s. And what you gonna say in private?
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
In public.
I love Dusty Springfield.
Oh my God.
Another inimitable voice. If they ever did a biopic about her, and
Who would play her?
Give me a moment. I have an answer to this question. The answer that I think we'll get, which I would maybe want.
Okay.
Charlize Theron.
Oh, but she's a little older to play the younger. They'd have to get a different younger woman, don't you think?
No, they would yank her. It's fine. It's Charlize Theron. She's played everybody. Eileen Wuornos, bitch. Like,
which I still haven't watched that movie.
It's okay.
Oh, I wanted to see it.
I think it's mostly impeccable for the ways that Charlize Theron plays Eileen Wuornos.
Okay.
Like, the incredible physical transformation that she underwent in order to portray that character in a way that she thought was accurate, which was like she fucking looked like her. But
okay, we're falling off the rails a tiny bit because we've
divas.
Yes.
Are the kids in there?
Okay.
Dalida's in there.
Dalida. Barbara?
No.
Judy?
Babs isn't in my top 5. I'm thinking more modern day divas.
Okay. Celine?
Celine's probably in there.
Yeah.
Maybe Kylie Minogue. I love Kylie.
You love Kylie. Those are good. I mean, those are all amazing choices.
Yeah. Honestly, is Charlie in there?
Kind of. The new icon.
She probably is for me. Unlike the newer side of things. But I have a lot of old divas because I just...
Of course.
I didn't even include Shirley Bassey. And I love her.
She's in there. We love Shirley Bassey.
It feels wrong to just pick 5 and put them in order.
No, you're so right. I don't think there's an order. I mean, mine tops were probably...
let's hear it.
Barbara.
Babs, okay.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Tina.
Yep. Oh, I know that one.
Right.
Gags.
Gog, yeah. Gaga for sure. Judy.
Yeah.
I would say Judy's in there. I would put Dalida in a top 10.
Yeah.
I'd put her in a top 10. I'm really, like, I haven't done enough diva obsession with her yet, but I'm getting there. I feel like the movie helped me a lot.
Who do you think Angel's number 1 is?
Diva?
I know Liza's in there.
Liza. And she loves Judy.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's not a diva worshiper. I feel like that's a certain type of person that really like idolizes the gay icon,
Yeah.
Not saying that she doesn't have one. I just don't know off the top of my head.
Do you know what diva death that's going to absolutely ruin my life?
Oh God, who?
Julie Andrews.
She's in my top 5. She's in my top 5 for sure.
You also know that she's like an incredibly beautiful and wonderful person.
Oh my God, I love her. Oh, and Dolly.
Yeah.
Dolly's in there.
Dolly's a big one.
Julie.
Judy.
Julie Andrews, like a national treasure and a tragic story. She had a beautiful voice and she had to get that surgery and now she can't sing anymore. It's like, oh my God, what a gift that she is to the world.
Yeah.
Knocking on wood. Oh my God.
This is why I'm gay. Because...
Right. Let's wrap it up.
Because this is diva worship. Like,
Yes.
this is the pinnacle.
1 out of 10, how gay are you?
10.
10.
12. Like this is the core. This is the essence. This is like the little nut in the middle is what I was gonna say. Like,
if you could do a elevator pitch of why divas matter to the gays, go.
they emulate the joyousness and celebration of life that we feel inside at all times, but it sometimes cannot express. Therefore, when we see women that emulate the joy that we experience and live it to the fullest degree in front of us, we have no choice but to stand. We must see it. We must experience it. We must know every in and out. I feel it in my body. There is a ferocity, a fire, an engine that is running on this stuff. Like, it fuels me, it excites me, it entices me, it grabs me.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Holy shit, dude.
I don't even know I had that in there.
That was like, wow. Woo, that was really great.
How about you?
I like them because they're pretty and they sing songs.
Yeah.
No, exactly what you said, of course. It's the celebration of expression.
Yeah.
That we can all fall in love with that person through the joy that they get through performance. As a performer myself, it's something that I completely understand, and it's something that I want to feel all the time. So being able to watch these women, being able to experience them, it makes me feel closer to the joys that I have in my life.
Yeah, and it's also like the original parasocial relationship in my head.
100%.
Which we've seen the breakdown of lately.
Ugh.
Like
throwing shit on stage, girl.
at Doja Gata.
That's like one of 15 in the last year.
First of all, Doja Cat is right. Like, the way that she was like, yeah, I don't love you, I don't know you. Like, she say it maybe like a little, I don't know, rudely? But like, who cares?
Right.
I don't know. Like, she's her own person, and she doesn't know, she doesn't know you.
Exactly.
People are like, you're not supporting your fans, baby.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
On that note, I think we're going to get out of here.
Love it.
Thank you so much for listening. I had so much fun with you, Kelly, talking about Dalida. An amazing woman. We love her. She lives in our hearts. We'll never forget her.
Yeah, we're never going to shut up, so.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram, This Is Why I'm Gay podcast, and on YouTube. Comment below what you liked, what you didn't like. We love you. We are gay, and this is why.
How do Gen Z do that heart? I don't know how to do it. Because
I'm like, this is me. This is my truth.
This is, yeah.
This is my
the truth
truth.
I live in, not this.
Love you so much.